characteristic of Gotham City must be there is always crime.
Crime stalking our city by night and day is on the increase. Our undermanned police force is helpless to cope with the situation, but they have an ally, Batman.
There has to be crime in Gotham because Batman is, on one key level, the one who fights crime. This highlights the inseparable connection between Batman and his city. It's actually more like a circular connection in that one is always creating and perpetuating the other. It was Gotham City that killed Bruce Wayne's parents in the form of a thief and its corrupt conditions created, setting in motion a chain of events that led to the Batman's obsessive mission to rid Gotham of crime, an obsession that fostered a darker and more twisted criminality.
An agent of chaos.
In the beginning, Gotham was just a backdrop, a setting. Indeed, it wasn't even Gotham. It was New York City until Detective Comics number 48. In the 1943 and 49 television serials of Batman, most of the action, largely due to budgets, takes place in interiors, on sound stages. Little attempt is made to signify Gotham as a whole. The same is true for the Adam West Batman series in the 1960s, when the character was at the height of camp. Scrub through the entire feature-length movie from 1966, and you won't see so much as a skyscraper. When the Adam West show failed, Batman writers brought a darker tone to the stories. They brought an extended continuity, and continuity meant that individual locations in Gotham gained importance, and the city itself started to breathe as a character. This run of dark comics culminated in 1986 with Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, which plumbed the obsessive, tortured psyche of the Batman and found a counterpoint to that trouble run in the diseased, crime-ridden streets of Gotham. That essential feeling was intensified even more, and 3 years later, Gotham City became a nightmare. In what has become the most iconic imagining of the Caped Crusaders' home, Tim Burton and Anton Furst fashioned the city as if hell burst through the pavement and grew. Drawing from a number of garishly juxtaposed architectural styles and the charcoal drawings of Hugh Ferris, the creators of 1989's Batman took the 80s fears of worsening crime and augmented them to a Kafkaesque level. That aesthetic was made more grand and exaggerated in Burton's sequel, Batman Returns. And 3 years later, Batman Forever depicted a Gotham that was flashier, colorful, and somehow even more removed from reality. Finally, what was macabre and genuinely inspired in Burton's imagination became gaudy and genuinely ridiculous in 1997's fourth installment of the series, Batman and Robin.
You're not monkey business.
And yet, as the movies soured Burton's vision, television and comics were taking all the best parts of the 1989 aesthetic and developing a deeper identity for the city. In the stellar Batman the Animated Series, Gotham City is all dark deco, as if the 1930s World's Fair had gone on for another 60 years. In the comics, Batman was more loath than ever to leave Gotham, and Gotham itself became more isolated and separated from the rest of the world. In a famous arc called No Man's Land, the national government chooses to abandon Gotham entirely after the city is almost destroyed by an earthquake. The island, quickly carved up by gangs and villains, becomes a hell on Earth. Christopher Nolan made a similar isolating move in Batman Begins when the police raise the bridges to stop escaped criminals from fleeing the city, and again in The Dark Knight Rises when Bane destroys those bridges. Of course, Nolan's Gotham is decidedly more grounded and realistic than its predecessors, especially in The Dark Knight. Burton's Gotham may be more nightmarish, but a Gotham that resembles our own world can be even more terrifying when it's shown to be fragile in the face of a violent disregard for the established order. From its earliest on-screen depictions in the 1940s to the latest in a series of gruesome video games and a network TV show that bears its name, Gotham has been flexible to account for a changing world and a changing Batman. But the one constant is crime, an irrepressible criminal underclass that plagues the streets, with whom the police are either in league or powerless to stop. Indeed, the Batman is, by definition, unable to stop this scourge too, or else his existence would be unjustified.
You are defending a city so corrupt
infrastructure.
Gotham, I think, is totally unique in the history of cities, real or imagined. Existing for more than 70 years, we have an exhaustive knowledge of its attic